Okay, so I just want to take you through the styles and setup for the Qbinds and the macros that I have set up for my Friar. So here we go. So on Eden, you're not allowed to use any time-based macros, so just an FYI. So everything we have set up here that I'm going to show you is just simply the same button at the same time, but with styles, you can kind of put it in sequence. Um, let me show you the Qbinds first. Okay, so these are all my Qbinds. Now, most of these are set up on this bar here with the styles, and then right here as well. So, uh, first, I have a mouse. This is an MMO mouse. It's got like 12 buttons on it where my thumb can kind of hit. It's very useful for um, certain classes in Dark Age. If you're just going to play a caster or something, don't really need it for the most part. But if you're going to play a melee, like a friar with all these, you know, three anytime, well, you know, two anytime styles. Well, no, yeah, three anytime styles, two with follow ups, frontal with a follow up, two reactionaries, both with follow ups, and a taunt and everything. So it's you need something like this. There's just no good way to do it otherwise without it being really awkward on the keyboard from what I could have found. Okay, so the way I have it set up is, I'll show you a picture of the mouse here in the corner. But basically, number one on the mouse is Defender's Fury, which is just, an opening style. ASR is really good, so kind of land that off the open in a fight. To debuff them. Kind of the main one I'll use in a fight if I'm not trying to get a side snare off is going to be Figure 8 and Double Strike. Now, the way I've set this setup is on, I think it's button 4. Yeah, button 4 on the mouse. It basically triggers, first it triggers counter evade. So it'll first trigger counter evade. If counter evade doesn't, if I didn't evade anything, then it'll then trigger Double Strike, which is the follow-up to Figure 8. If I haven't used Figure 8 and there's no reason that the follow-up is going to land, then it will land Figure 8. And so then if Figure 8 doesn't land, then it'll trigger Defender's Fury. So all of those basically fire at the same time, but in that order. You can do that with auto hotkey if you don't have a mouse that can do those all in the same time. But that way you could pretty much press that button and have all of those things fire in that order, and hopefully you're going to hit counter evade. Counter evade is going to land, and then what I have set up next is right next to the mouse. Right next to number 4 is 7, and so 7 is normally my taunt, and that's quick strike. However, I have it set up as a follow-up. So the follow-up, which is right next to counter evade, I just move my thumb over and it goes from counter evade, if that does land, over to Friar's Fury, which is a really nice heal, big radius. So that will land. Then if that doesn't land, or I'm not eligible for that follow-up, then it'll just be a default taunt. Let's see what else. Number 3, let's see, 5 is my wings. So 5 is my wings, and it's my attack speed increase that overrides my alacrity. So if I just cast that, it's going to be, underneath that. It's not a real celerity. What else? I have thumb mouse is my regen. I have, let's see, I have the anytime here. Spinning staff is up there on number 6, and so 6 is on the mouse is spinning staff, and that's it, because I want it to be able to open that also out of combat for peels. And you can't, if you have all these, if you have Double Strike and then you have Figure 8 and then you can't open out of combat, because it's going to use that out of combat, and that's not going to land a style. So this whole sequence where you're using all these follow-ups and stuff first only work out of combat or within combat. What else? And then you got I have it set up so that 3 on the mouse is Friar's ally. So meaning I can hit 6 and then 3. Now Friar's ally is followed up by Holy Staff. So if Friar's ally doesn't land, I'll have my Holy Staff style, which is a nice regen, which does not override, unfortunately, the less good regen, but the longer duration of it. I guess it's a group regen, it's longer duration, but still not as efficient. What else? And then I got on number 2, I have it set up so that I have it goes stunning Wraith, which is my 8-second stun, over to Friar's Boon. So it triggers in that order. So Friar's Boon, which is the parry reactionary, which then goes to Fender's Fury. So I can just basically tap 2 during a fight. If I see a parry come up, I tap 2. It will use Friar's Boon. If I tap it again, it'll use Stunning Wrath. And if I miss the parry window, it'll at least do an ASR good anytime style. So that's how I have that all set up. What else? Shift F is my taunt. T is my purge. X is sprint. C is in and out of combat. What else? Shift D is my cure near sight, just for ease of access there. I have switch weapon, which is really important. So what I'll do with switch weapon is if this is a mob, let's say, if I stun him, and I pushed a talk, which is an awkward place for this demo, but if I stun him and I come over here, I go out of combat, let's say, I switch my weapon with 3 to a faster 5.5 speed, and then I attack him with the side positional, or if you want to even get fancier, I'm running my strength con debuff 3.0 speed, and I switch it to my 5.5 life tap. So I'll start off the side positional with the faster weapon, and then I'll switch for banish, which is high damage and a good heal. I'll switch and lower endurance. I'll switch over to the faster staff to finish off that stun. So yeah, and it's nice to have the slower staff because you can run the wings and this, and it's almost as fast as the 3.0. You can get pretty close to swing speed cap. Yeah, that is it. Everything else on here is just buffs, and I have another staff here that I can switch to, which is my 3.0 life tap. So I'll switch over to that. For I still don't have cap stats and everything. I'm not weaponless, but it's still nice to have those procs. Procs are really nice to have go off. So yeah, that's how I have it set up. If you have any questions, let me know. I think the only thing I didn't mention is I got the heal pot on number 5. So you can go out of combat and go heal pot. I think I also have on my mouse on number 8 is that regen with the endo, and I have cure poison on 9 and cure disease on 12 on the mouse. So I think that covers it. I hope this helped. If you're playing a Friar, they're definitely great at this patch level, and Albion needs all the help they can get with extra heals, because on Atlas there was no freaking heals on Albion, so it's nice to have the Friar be buffed up a bit. Definitely a pretty unstoppable 1v1 class, and I think especially if you set it up like that, there's not much that somebody's going to be able to do. I mean, I'm still 49. The toughest only fight I've really lost 1v1 has been a Veilwalker, and that was one of the better Veilwalkers on the server, and I think his name was Clamhammer. Shout out to Clamhammer, good duel. I kind of messed that duel up, and I think when I get 50, and if we get cure disease charges, and I can master this this 8-second stun. I can cure disease on the stun, and I can also use a cure disease charge. So then I'll have 2 disease cures, which will be pretty damn nice. So, anyways, that's the Friar setup. That's the Friar, and hope that helped. Talk soon. Thanks.